There's no question that Joe Biden was receiving benefit from Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's only source of income were our adversaries in China and Russia. So this is very concerning. The American people deserve answers.
You're going to hear a lot from that guy. That's James Comer, Republican from Southwest Kentucky. House Republicans say that they will make Hunter Biden's business dealings a top priority, but they argue the media keeps shrugging it off. On that note, Jonathan Turley writes this. What elephant? The Associated Press denies that there is any evidence that Joe Biden discussed Hunter's business dealings. He cites the emails that seem to indicate otherwise. With us now, Marc Thiessen, Fox News contributor, former speechwriter to President George W. Bush. How you doing, Marc? Good morning to you. I want to get the exact quote here. It says,
good morning, Brother Bill.
Yeah, over the weekend, there was a claim on the AP that there's no evidence to suggest that Biden ever spoke to his son, Hunter, about his foreign business dealings. So that was the impetus for what Turley wrote about. Does Turley have a point? Let's begin there.
100%. Look, the media cover-up of this has been absolutely shameless. They told us that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. Biden said during his presidential debate that it was a Russian plant. That was a complete and total lie. It's not true. We now know there's been forensic investigation. It is absolutely legitimate. It's actually belonged to Hunter Biden. And then for the AP to go and say that there's no evidence that Joe Biden ever talked to Hunter Biden about his private business dealings, that is also demonstrably false. We have emails. We have photographs of Joe Biden with Hunter Biden's clients. We have voicemails of him leaving messages saying, talking, hey, buddy, I saw this story. Let's talk about it. So, I mean, it's a complete and utter lie. And they continue to deny it and push it down.
Here is the exact quote. Joe Biden, written by the AP. Joe Biden has said he's never spoken to his son about his foreign business, and nothing the Republicans have put forth suggests otherwise, end quote. We'll see where that goes now down the road. Want to get to this other topic because apparently we're going to be paying some money to a lot of countries around the world if indeed this goes through the way they've outlined it. Over the big climate summit happened over the weekend. It concluded over the weekend. Wall Street Journal says Biden signs up for climate reparations. The latest shakedown is a new fund to pay poor countries for supposed damage caused by Western use of fossil fuels. The idea here, Marc, is that Western European countries, the United States, would pool all their money and, in effect, give it to third world countries for hurricanes or typhoons or damage that may have been caused by climate change. Now, this is not a done deal. I would even argue it might be far from it. How do you see it now?
Well, first of all, if anyone owes poor countries anything, it's the climate extremists. So the entire first world we built our prosperity using abundant, cheap energy from fossil fuels, and now we want to deny developing countries the chance to do the same thing. That will do far more damage to their economies, to their GDP, to their prosperity than anything that climate change could possibly do. And second of all, the idea that Western industrialization, that Western capitalism, the free enterprise system has done damage to developing countries is just simply false. And I can prove it. In 2018, there was a Brookings study which showed that for the first time since agriculture-based civilization began 10,000 years ago, the majority of the world's population was either middle class or rich. For the whole history of humankind, the majority of people have lived in poverty. Now we have a middle-class majority population in the entire world. And just at that very moment, the climate activists come in and they want to stop that progress by denying people access to cheap, abundant energy. They would drive billions of people out of the middle class and stop billions more from getting into the middle class. So this would do more damage. The climate activists would do more damage to prosperity, more damage to the GDP of these countries than any of the solutions they offer, and so the war on fossil fuels is what is hurting the developing world, not anything else.
So I mentioned that Wall Street Journal piece. I think here's the line. China emits 2/3 more CO2 than Europe and the U.S. combined. Coal accounts for 60% of China's power generation, and more new coal plants are set for approval through 2025 than the entire existing U.S. fleet. Why don't we start there? Marc, last word.
Sure. If China wants to give them reparations, then by all means let them do it. But the idea that anyone's owed reparations, what they're owed is access to clean, access to abundant, cheap energy. That's what they're owed. They're owed this war on fossil fuels is what is damaging their countries, not capitalism, not free enterprise. And so we got to stop the war on fossil fuels and help these people, help the middle class grow in the world, because we have a middle class majority for the first time in human history, and the climate activists want to push people out of the middle class.
Thanks, Mark. Let's talk later in the week. Marc Thiessen with us in D.C. Thanks.
Take care.
All right, Dana.